Hello gentle viewers, hello David. This is a refutation of a video entitled Can Math Prove a Lost Ancient Civilization? Posted about 6 hours ago by my friend Professor David Miano of the channel World of Antiquity. Like David himself, when I see something questionable, there are immediate responses a person can give in the pursuit of logic and truth, the fight against ignorance. There are things anyone can say against pseudoscience. It's hard to know what to believe if your information is always changing. There are things you can say about skeptics, that some facts are more equal than others. Neil Tyson, a spokesman of the sciences, recently criticized a mathematical thesis submitted to him by a Hollywood actor. Even though him not being a professional thesis writer is not what makes his conclusions wrong. A person's place in the world doesn't predetermine that. Let's take the claim that the Great Pyramids at Giza have the same basic proportions as certain formations on Mars. If you think the idea of pyramids on Mars is ridiculous, it doesn't matter to you what the geometry is because that's not your basis. The answer to David's question, can math prove a lost ancient civilization, is yes. This video could easily have been a documentary on Sumerian mathematical tablets. Linguistics has revealed ancient civilizations that were lost to us. Math is certainly capable of doing that. There's an excellent video on ancient history I've posted below that uses an objective style I'll call all facts are equal. When you're an ancient historian, you don't have the luxury of separating facts from myth as much as modern historians do. There are too many unknowns and too much time has passed. Today's contentions have no place because they're not of the past. And the ancient world does not change to suit us in all that time. We don't know what the role of empirical science is in the destiny of mankind. Is it a fad? Are we the masters and the judges of history? We don't know if certain events were more humble than we'd like them to be, or if they were actually more noble than we are today. We do know people were more straightforward than we are today. Math is one of those things you have to respect if you're going to use it, or you become guilty of the very thing you're criticizing. If two people disagree on whether a pyramid is man-made or a natural mountain, mathematics is not the point of contention, but the thing that they share. There is a natural practicality and predilection towards certain architecture that is universal and allows objects to hold their form for thousands or even millions of years. There is an engineer who was consulted on the pyramids back in the 70s, who recognized in its construction properties of latent energy distribution much greater than a simple monument. Someone who is gifted in math can very well be in tune with things you and I don't see. Let's add the underground Black Pyramid in Alaska. If you think the Black Pyramid is a natural formation of basalt, that there's no way pyramid building traveled from Mars or Alaska over so long a period, then you have to think the only connection is math. We don't have the luxury of standing on Mars or getting access to an underground pyramid, so what does it matter how precise the geometry is if it's immaterial to you? Lastly, David has a clear interest in pseudoscience that he researches, but is not steeped in lore. I just mentioned 3 things that are common knowledge to me, all of which started out as mainstream scientific endeavors. Why don't you just toss out one of those 3 or change some of the details as you like it? If your position is we're right, they're wrong, then you don't owe them any quarter. This is where an ambassador of facts becomes disingenuous. Neil Tyson, like many others, chooses intellectual small fries to make mincemeat out of them. I'd like to see him try to lock horns with me. These questions are relevant, they're intellectual, and it's our responsibility as laymen to challenge experts of any stripe. Thanks for listening.